Welcome to Scorpio Soul Time. I'm Ronique, and I appreciate you joining me here on my YouTube channel. Every lunation cycle, which occurs about every 2 weeks, we come together and we talk about what the energies are going on up in the heavens, because as they say, as above, so below. So whatever transits and aspects that are going on in the universe are directly affecting us here on Earth. So I welcome you to my channel. I especially welcome the new subscribers. I appreciate everyone, my old subscribers and my new ones. I do appreciate you all. Many of you have found me through my beginning tarot series. You can look down in the playlist on Scorpio Soul Time to learn how to read tarot, how to interpret the tarot. Some people have asked me or have said that my style is a little different from many readers, and so I take that as a compliment. But I think many times when you're learning tarot, you also have to use your intuition. So while there is a meaning and symbolism behind each card, remember to also just use your own feelings, your own emotions, and whatever intuitively calls to you. Okay, so today, you all, we are going to talk about the second full moon in Aquarius that occurs on August 22nd at 8:01 a.m. and that is Eastern Standard Time. And the Leo sun is sitting here at 29 degrees and 37 minutes, and then sitting across the sky is the Aquarius moon at 29 degrees and 37 minutes. So a full moon is any time that the sun and the moon sit 180 degrees across from each other in the sky. And so what's interesting about this, excuse my sneezing cat. What's interesting about this second full moon in Aquarius is that this is now occurring at the end degrees of both Leo and Aquarius. So this is really an important time to figure out what endings need to occur. I think you need to look back on the first full moon in Aquarius that I just did 2 weeks ago. You can definitely look on Scorpio Soul Time. And that one occurred on July 23rd, and that was at 1 degree and 26 minutes of Leo and Aquarius. So that was a beginning energy, and this is more of an ending energy, or I should say that was more of a young ending energy, and this is more of a mature graduated energy, meaning like you should have found something in this cycle that maybe came to light, maybe there were endings, maybe there was more information that you've become illuminated about over this last lunation cycle. So look back in your own timeline and see where has this sun in Leo. Remember, the sun in Leo was all about our individuality, our courage, our self-knowing, and wanting to explore more about ourselves, while Aquarius is more of that mental, exploratory, wanting to like learn new things energy. And I think that there should have been themes around your individuality and your future self, and where are you ready for a change? While the ending degree of Leo may look at yourself in a different light. So for example, my own self, I know I've been working on my health journey, and I think that I've really come to like understand like what it is that motivates me to like get healthier. While before it was kind of like, just want to lose some weight just to look good, right? So now I've noticed with me personally in this like Aquarius cycle, in the beginning it was more like just wanting to look good, but now I'm also realizing like about nutrition and water and supplements and changing up your exercise routine. Like these are all things that have kind of made me be able to learn more about myself, as well as like what is it that I'm trying to gain in this second full moon in Aquarius. And I want to point out to you that this is actually a blue moon. So a blue moon is any time that there are two full moons that happen in the same zodiac sign. So this sometimes occurs maybe once a year, but it usually doesn't occur more than once a year. And it's actually called a blue moon. And I pulled out the blue moon card, which is actually in my Moonology Oracle deck. And this is, oops, this is the Oracle cards that I like to use. I found these probably about a few months ago when we went traveling to, we went on 4th of July holiday up to Tennessee. And I really love how these oracle cards speak to each lunation cycle. And since I pulled the full moon in Aquarius card on the first full moon video, please feel free to go back and watch that. But this one actually is specific to a blue moon, and you see it says believe in the impossible. And I really love that because I feel like you've heard the saying, you know, oh yeah, only once in a blue moon. It literally means that very rarely does this time occur, or very rarely will, you know, this situation or the stars align in this exact time to occur to have a blue moon. So I really feel like this is like a almost magical time, because for it to be the second full moon in Aquarius, I have a feeling that a lot of us are going to experience activities or even get messages from our higher selves or from our spirit guides on things that maybe we thought wasn't going to be possible that actually fruition during this time. So make sure you're paying attention during the second full moon in Aquarius to see what messages you get. Especially remember, this is all stemming from the great conjunction that we had back in December of 2020. Look back in the Scorpio Soul Time playlist. You will see at that Saturn and Jupiter conjunction was like this time of great change, especially with all the stellium of planets that we had in Aquarius. So we had Saturn, Jupiter, we're now having the moon, and it's just interesting how once again Jupiter is now in Aquarius. It was in Pisces for a little while, and now it's stepped back into Aquarius. So at this full moon, we actually have the moon and Jupiter conjunct in Aquarius. So this can be, like I said, this could be a magical time. This could be like Jupiter is the planet of expansion, things becoming bigger than you may have imagined. Sometimes we call Jupiter the planet of good luck or good fortune. So many of us might experience some good fortune or luck during this second Aquarius full moon. But also remember, there is a lower vibrational energy of Aquarius, which is like rebellion and like wanting to be an individual and not like wanting to stay with the crowd, if you will. And we all know like this can be positive or it can be negative. So just remember that Jupiter expands everything. Expansion can sometimes be expanding the lower vibrational side. It doesn't always mean like it's always going to be good luck. It could also like exacerbate things. So just keep that in mind, because with that Leo sun in the last degree, this last degree, they sometimes call it the anaretic degree. And this is usually like the most potent degree, like when a planet moves in and out of signs. The first degree and the last degree are usually like the most powerful, or when we'll feel like the most change. So just remember that as we move through this cycle after August 22nd for those next couple weeks. I'm spending a little more time on the zodiac today, on the astrology part, because there's really like a lot going on. So another thing that's also going on is up here in Virgo, we have Mars and we have Mercury. This is really important because Virgo is going to be, the sun is literally going to move into Virgo. Since this is like the last degree of Leo, we will also start feeling some Virgo energy in these next couple of weeks, because once the sun moves into Virgo, we're now dealing with an earth sign. So we were moving out of the fire sign. So that was like action and getting things done. While Virgo is an earth sign that's more grounded and more into like setting goals, getting our health routines in order, just routines in general. Virgo is very particular about organization, getting things done, having a plan. So this can be really good for any of you who have been trying to maybe launch something new, whether it's an entrepreneurial venture, it's something at work, maybe you're studying for a test, a certification, maybe you're in college, you're in school. Like, this is a really good energy to get like more focused around developing a plan, having some organization, as well as like your health and your well-being and your finances. Like Virgo also, since it is an earth sign, has to deal with your resources and your time and getting those organized. So keep that in mind as we do move through this second Aquarius full moon. And it's interesting with this Virgo energy because once the sun does move into Virgo, we'll have 3 planets now in Virgo. So we're gonna kind of shift from that Leo, fire, action, kind of passionate energy to this more grounded, trying to be a little more holistic and try to figure out what we need to tangibly get our resources and goals in order. Okay, and lastly, I'm going to talk about there will be a grand air trine between Saturn and Aquarius. Let's see, so it'll be a grand air trine between Saturn and Aquarius down here, Venus and Libra right here, and then the north nodes. You can see how it makes a triangle. The north node's in Gemini, Saturn's in Aquarius, and then let's see, Venus up here is in Libra. So you can see where they're all making a triangle in the sky, or a trine. And a trine is really positive energy because it helps. Each of these planets or luminaries are basically like feeding off of each other to give us even more energy. And so since these are in the air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, those 3 signs are going to give us more energy around communications, around you might be trying to come up with some you might have a lot of mental work that you need to do, whether it's for a job or it's something in your daily routine. Maybe you're like needing to study for a test. Like, this is going to be a really positive energy around relationships, communication with others, or even with yourself. You might find ideas and solutions for solving problems, or just retaining more information, or communicating with others might be a lot easier during this time when we have that grand trine. So it's really, I think, positive energy as we move into this second Aquarius full moon. As I've told you before, I'm a sun and moon Scorpio, but I am an Aquarius rising sign. So I feel like while I can relate to Scorpio and I have a lot of the traits of Scorpio, Aquarius is really like my, almost like my soul. Like, I am definitely that person who's always trying to like make things like more innovative, and I'm always trying to think of new ways to do things, and I'm always trying to like, while I like working in a team, I also like trying to like figure out stuff on my own. So I'm like really truly that Aquarius. So I can't wait for this second full moon in Aquarius to see what transpires. So at this point of the video, we're actually going to do the singing bowl, and we're going to channel in some positive energy, clear my space before we pull the tarot cards. All right. And many of you have told me that the singing bowl really helps you also. If you have headphones in, sometimes it gets really loud, so just be aware of that if you are listening to me on a with your headphones on, okay? Make sure it's in the screen. All right, so as I channel the energy from the singing bowl, I want you to think of positive thoughts, but also figure out how is it that you can bring more clarity into your thoughts, so that when we are pulling the tarot cards, you can kind of tap into your own intuition and energies, okay? Okay, great. All right, that one was really loud today. Did you notice? Some days I feel like it's a lot louder than other days. And I kind of feel like that's like the energy is like really working with us. Okay, you all. So today, as we shuffle the cards for this second full moon in Aquarius, I want us to tap into that blue moon energy. And that blue moon energy is that energy of like, what is it that is or has seemed impossible, or maybe you have started, but you feel like you need a little extra information, whether this is dealing with relationships, whether this is dealing with something you've been trying to manifest. This can also, oh, and there's the Empress, just fell out. So already starting off on a really good energy here. I'm gonna turn this a little so we can get these cards straight. So already tapping into some really positive energy with that Empress. Woo, and the Ten of Cups just fell out. You all see that? Now I have a lot of cards, so I'm not gonna probably look at them all, because sometimes what happens when too many come out is like it's like jumbled energy, but I do like to pull the top one. So I'm gonna pull that Ten of Cups because that was on the top. It was actually in reverse, so I'm gonna leave it in reverse. So already, we're just talking about the impossible. So we can already see like positive Venus energy, like I said, moving into like that Virgo energy, but also that Ten of Cups. So there's already something like around our family, emotional energy that we've been trying to work on. But just think through, like, with this second full moon in Aquarius, there is a revisiting of some kind of information that the universe wants you to tap into. It wants you to take whatever you were dealing with back in December at that Saturn and Jupiter conjunction, and then using that full moon in Aquarius that happened at the end of July. Now it's revisiting it, but in a more mature way. So that's what I want you to tap into. Is there something like you never thought would happen and is now happening, or you're trying to get something off the ground? Use that blue moon energy to really tap into what you're trying to either manifest or get more clarity around. Because remember, Aquarius is an air energy, so there might be something, this might be a more mental energy, and maybe it doesn't actually show itself until we get into more of the Virgo energy. All right, so in the past, we have Two of Swords. So there may have been something that you were confused about, didn't really know how to figure out what was going on. Remember, swords is air energy, so it also could have been going back to that full moon. Actually, this could be going back to that Jupiter Saturn conjunction in December when you weren't clear about some information, and maybe now that that's in the past, maybe you're going to be getting more clarity. That's in the past. Then in the present, we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So that's probably going to be working with that Virgo energy. Like I said, we're going to be coming into that earth energy. Pentacles are earth. And then in the future, we have the Lovers, which is a major arcana card in reverse, and that is usually a Gemini. All right, so let's look at these cards. I think it's already interesting that the Ten of Cups and the Empress popped out because, like I said a few minutes ago, I think that there definitely is this strong, like, Virgo energy around what is it that we're trying to accomplish. You can already, or actually, it's, you know what, it's Virgo, but it's also Venus, right? So the Virgo energy are those planets that I told you that we're going to be moving into, how Mars and Mercury are already in Virgo. But then this Venus down here on her little shield here, or stone, it's almost as if we're trying to channel in more of this energy around. Remember, the Empress is usually like, she's fertile, she's like ready for things to be like coming into fruition. In the Rider-Waite tarot deck, she's usually pregnant, so it's more like pregnant with ideas, birthing new relationships, birthing new things that are tangible, because remember, this is all that earth energy. So I really think that as we go through this second full moon in Aquarius, there's going to be this strong energy around something that you're trying to birth, something you're trying to get off the ground. There's some real tangible energy going on here, and I think that has to do with, like I said, we're going to come into that Virgo energy. The Ten of Cups upright is a very positive sign. It usually is like a family who is emotionally happy. They have everything that they need, their well-being, their, you know, they have food, and, you know, everything is just great. When it is in reverse, though, remember, this is an ending energy since it's a 10. So remember, there could be some, maybe there's something that's holding you back from getting to this place. Maybe this energy is more around, you would like to get to the Ten of Cups upright, but emotionally, maybe something is holding you back. Maybe this Empress is telling you, like, you still need to build some foundations before you can turn this Ten of Cups upright. But keep those energies in your mind as we go through the past, present, and future, because there's some kind of messages around what is it that you need to birth in order to get your family, your resources, to get you all emotionally feeling good and happy, okay? So the Two of Swords is this woman sitting here with, she's blindfolded, so she really doesn't know where to go. But two is usually an option, like there's options that you're quite not, you've been maybe contemplating, maybe options have been given to you, or maybe you don't know which way to turn. Definitely a more air energy because of the swords. And remember, I told you we're going to be having that grand trine with the air elements, the air zodiac signs. So remember, I was saying that there might be some information around communication, around relationships, or energy that have to do with that Aquarian time. Remember, we still have Saturn, Jupiter, and the moon in Aquarius at this second full moon. So this could be something in the past that you're looking back on. I think that's the most important thing to remember as we move through the second Aquarius full moon, is like, this is going to be energy that is probably not new. This is going to be information, because a full moon illuminates, as opposed to a new moon that you're like planting seeds. A full moon is usually a culmination of ideas, themes, you know, anything that has probably already happened. So remember, this in the past is probably indicative of all the Aquarius energy that we've had here in the past. So there must be something that might be illuminated at this time from the past. All right, so the Knight of Pentacles, I'm going to show you upright in the present, is, you can see she's on this horse with her one pentacle, and knights usually have to do with moving forward with something, but since this Knight of Pentacle is standing still, like he's not in a forward motion, maybe you're almost coming to like a stalemate, or there's something that's not moving ahead for you, especially with it being in the reverse. I'm getting this energy of like something around your finances, your resources. This could be a job. This could be money that you thought was coming in. This could have been a raise that you thought you were going to get by now. Or maybe these are conversations around money, resources, time. Remember, we're coming into Virgo. So we're coming into Virgo season. So literally once we hit August 22nd, 23rd, we're going to be moving into this Virgo energy. So I think we're going to start seeing more reoccurring themes around finances, around time, your health. So this might be something you're working on, but you haven't moved forward enough yet to be able to see kind of like the fruits of your labor, if you will. This might be just messages at this point, and it might be something regarding your past that you didn't have enough information and you're still trying to figure things out with this Knight of Pentacles. But we're going to pull a clarifier on that Knight just to figure out, like, is this something that is like something that you can't move forward from, or is it something, because I'm saying that because of the Two of Swords, it's almost like you were confused about something or you didn't have enough information. So I'm just wondering, like, if you're going to get clarity around your money. So we'll figure that out once we pull the clarifier cards. And then in the future, we have the Lovers in reverse. The Lovers is a major arcana card. It's the number 6 card, and it usually represents Gemini, the twins. And so Gemini is that air energy, and remember the North Node is in Gemini. So this means we're like trying to move towards more clarity, more relationship type themes. But with Gemini, remember, it's in that grand trine with Libra, with the Venus in Libra and the Aquarius Saturn. So I'm really thinking and feeling that we're having some kind of issues with like relationships, and maybe trying to get clarity around relationships. With it in reverse in the future, I think that'll be interesting to see once we move into Libra season, which will be after Virgo. So Libra will be like more towards mid-September to the beginning of October. It'll be interesting to see if this Gemini energy fixes itself, if you will, meaning like if there's relationship issues that you've been having, and this can be relationships with anyone. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a romantic relationship. It could be around family, since we have the 10 of Cups as well in reverse. There's almost like this energy of something dealing with relationships might be a little tense right now. You're trying to work on it, but you don't really know how to work on it. With that Two of Swords, it could be around your finances. So let's pull some clarifier cards and see what the cards are saying around that Two of Swords in the past, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse in the present, and the Lovers in reverse in the future. And I think what the great thing also, you all, about the Aquarius full moon is like, it's almost like a, not a redo, but it's almost like you're getting just enough information to kind of like bring everything to a close, if that makes sense. Like in the first full moon, I felt like in Aquarius, it was almost like, okay, you're getting a little illumination, you're getting a little more clarity from that Saturn Jupiter conjunction in December, but we're gonna just give you a few more breadcrumbs. But like now it feels like the whole picture is now like becoming a lot more clear. So I think it'll be interesting to hear how each of you fare through this time, because I know for me, like I was saying with my health, I definitely have grown from just even a month ago, just in terms of like losing weight, and now I'm like signing up for 5K races to like walk, run, and I'm a new person, I feel like, from when we just had that first full moon. So it's quite exciting. And I think it's exciting for the collective just to see like what new ways we're all like interacting and like kind of like vibing with each other. I feel like there's like a new sense of like, okay, I'm getting some clarity here. Okay, so I think that's good. Let's cut the deck in 3. And let's get some clarity behind that 2 of Swords in the past. Okay, so we have the 4 of Cups in the upright position to clarify the 2 of Swords. So this to me is like symbolizing some kind of, maybe someone was offering you some emotional help and you just didn't know how to deal with it. I'm really feeling like someone was trying to, either the universe or people were trying to offer you emotional support, but you weren't really, either you weren't feeling it or you were like, I'm not quite sure if I want to take it. That's kind of what I'm feeling there. Let's see. In the present, we have the 6 of Pentacles. So you can see that that pentacle vibe is definitely here in the present because it's piggybacking off of that Knight of Pentacles. So there definitely is some kind of resources, time, energy, something is being dealt with during this full moon in Aquarius. And like I said, since the sun is going to move into Virgo literally like that same day or later on that day after the full moon, this is going to start becoming more of the theme of this next lunation cycle. And then in the future, look at that. We have the 2 of Swords in reverse, piggybacking our 2 of Swords here in the past. Very interesting. So I'm almost wondering, I'm going to pull another card because I'm wondering, this almost is like a reoccurring theme with you. Like you haven't been able to get closure or clarity or something, because it's almost like it turned from upright to now in reverse. Spirit, please give us another card to clarify the Lovers and the 2 of Swords. And there's the Magician. There you go. So this basically is saying you haven't been able to come to terms with something, either dealing with a family member, relationships. There's something around you not knowing either enough information, and it's from the past. So I'm just letting you know now, like this, in this lunation cycle, you probably aren't going to get the clarity that you need. But the positive thing is that the Magician is here to say you have the power to figure these things out, but it's going to take time and patience. With it in reverse, the Magician sometimes is like, well, you have the tools, but you're not using all your tools. Meaning like you might have blinders on right now. Like literally, like you probably have blinders on and you are not able to figure out how to get over either someone was offering you something, especially with this 6 of Pentacles here in the present. Either an offer was made to you, you're trying to figure out how to get more money, or maybe you're the one offering something to someone, but you're not able to either get over some, I definitely feel like relationship is going on in here, but not, like I said, not necessarily romantic relationship. It's either like your job, or it is either loved ones. Maybe you're trying to figure out how you can plant new seeds and birth new ideas in order to get like the emotional support of friends or support of colleagues at your work. And as you're like trying to like move through different areas of your life, it feels like you're still kind of stuck. Like the 2 of Swords, one in upright, one in reverse. There's some kind of clarity that you're still seeking. And I think it'll be interesting because maybe through this grand trine that I was telling you through the air signs this month, with that, I'm going to show you all it again. So maybe between this Gemini North Node, this Venus in Libra, and then this Saturn in Aquarius, I think that there's going to be some positive energies around that mental clarity of things. And so I'm really hoping that all of us are able to kind of like weed through some of the minutia. That's kind of what I just heard minutia in my head. So maybe like this is like there's some clarity that's still not had. I think that's makes a lot of sense too with just like the collective right now as we're all working through like the information around, you know, the pandemic, around schools, around our government, like, you know, those reoccurring themes that were always there during 2020. It's almost like you can kind of feel like we're still trying to, like, we're almost like we're being handed information, we're being handed resources, but we're not really sure what to think of them or how to use them. And I think that this Magician card is really fitting for the future, because it's almost like we all want to be able to have the resources, and maybe we do have them but don't realize it. And so I think that as we move through this second full moon in Aquarius, keep that in mind. Like, you're being given these tools, but many of us are either not even paying attention to them, because that's what the Four of Cups are. Someone is handing us information or ideas or emotional support, but we don't really know it right now. Maybe we're gonna look back on this time and realize we were handed something but didn't realize how to use it. And with the Six of Pentacles, you might either be handing someone information, resources, time, money, but maybe you don't know how to move forward, because remember, this Knight of Pentacles is standing still and it's in reverse. So it's almost like this reoccurring theme of someone or something. I mean, and this could even be like the government or a bank or your job might be handing you opportunities that you don't realize that are opportunities right now. And these relationships are definitely going to play out in the future, but it's almost like we're going to have to be patient to see how this magician uses his tools. Because remember, the magician is all about, he has everything he needs. He has a pentacle, he has a cup, he has the swords, and he has the wands. Like, he has everything he needs to bring everything in balance. But in order for him to use the tools, he has to have the intuition and guidance to do it. So it's almost like, since this is in reverse and it's in the future, we're gonna all have to be patient with ourselves as well as our loved ones around us to figure out how to use those tools to get past kind of like this, I just heard insecurity, either insecurities or just like not knowing of, you know, that Two of Swords is like, which way do I go? How do I use what have been given to me? So I really feel like there's some really positive energy here, but there's also some kind of, there's a little like tension. There's tension between the Two of Swords. There's tension between like the Ten of Cups and the Lovers in relationships. So I think it will be really interesting to see how we fare through this cycle, because once we get to that new moon in Virgo, which will be on September 6th, which is also Labor Day here in the United States, which I think is very interesting how that falls on Labor Day, because Labor Day in the States is, you know, supposed to be celebrating those who have worked hard and whatever, and Virgo is all about working and organization and getting things done. So I think it'll be interesting to see how these cards and tarot speak to us at that new moon in Virgo, and see if we were able to move past some of these different energies. But take advantage of this full moon in Aquarius, you all. I think it's a great time to be able to really monopolize on things that you wanted to create, and look back on Scorpio Soul Time and look through the playlist and just get reacquainted or refamiliarize yourself with what energies we have moved through, because this might be some clarity to some of those previous Aquarius cycles that we went through. Okay, you all, well, that's all for today. I am looking forward to this second full moon in Aquarius. If you haven't subscribed yet, I would appreciate if you would share my videos, like and comment, and I will see you next time on Scorpio Soul Time. Thank you all. Bye.